welcome to Rick's Corner. I wanted to take you through another tour down here in Santa Monica, which was part of Muscle Beach back in the 60s and the 70s. This is a part we haven't been to yet. Muscle Beach was off over here on the sand, which I showed you a long time ago. If you look out over the pier through all these motorcycles in the sand area was the original Muscle Beach. The rings over there in the swings is where the original Muscle Beach was, which I've showed in one of my videos. They had a platform out there and lots of weights. Steve Reeves and all the old bodybuilders in the past used to train down there. And then they moved it. And then when they moved it way up into a Surfrider motel. They had a parking structure underneath that was enclosed, and they moved the Muscle Beach gym into there to get it out of the weather because they kicked them off the beach. But this down here with the volleyball, the lifeguard station, that was always here. This has always been down there. Now this yellow house over there, that building, which I've said in one of my videos, was called Muscle House. And there was a lady who owned it, and she let the bodybuilders stay there for a very cheap rent, maybe $100 a month. And she cooked their meals 3 times a day, and this is where they lived so they could train. A lot of them they had jobs, but not a lot of money. So the Muscle House was a good place to hang out because you could live for $100 a month and have your meals and everything included, and walk across to the sand and work out. What better lifestyle was that? My God, you never see that today. But over here was the Santa Monica Pier, and a lot of us would come down here during the week, take a walk, get something to drink, and watch the fishermen. It was a fishing pier, and it had a couple of little amusement things, but nothing big. As you can see today, we got a lot of rides going on here. It's really changed over the years. But let's take a little walk down here and we'll look what the pier looks like today, because it's a lot different than it was back in the 70s. However, I still came down, took my walk, watched the fishermen, got a smell of the salt there, which I get today. We have a lot of fog today, which was part of the course of living here. But come on, we'll take a walk and see what's up. Now this arcade was here back in the 70s too. I mean, nothing's changed. It's the same building with all the little games and things inside. I'm sure they upgraded a lot of the stuff, but pretty much I used to come here and just hang out and play the games and throw the skeet ball and all that. And you got your little fortune teller over here. Watch this. This guy here, for example. Listen to this. Will I still be training 20 years from now? He says, yeah, I guess I will be. If you look inside, you hear all the noise, you can see all the stuff that's going on. Now this has changed quite a bit. They've updated all our machines and games, but the structure is still the same as it was back then. This section is closed today, but you can see, those of you, that it's all rides and entertainment. None of this was here. This was basically just a plank where you could go out and hang your fishing pole over the edge and catch your fish and go home and clean them and cook them. I didn't, but a lot of people did. I'd rather buy it at the market and get it fresh and cleaned already. Changed a lot since the 70s. But it's still the same pier. All right, this is the actual boardwalk of the pier. As you go down this way, it takes you to the end down by the ocean. We're going to walk on down there and have a look what's on from side to side. But back in the day when we'd work out, we'd come down here with our shorts on. No shirts, of course, but posing briefs basically. Because we wore them back then. And eyes would turn right and left to say, look at those guys, my God, we never seen bodybuilders like that. We were unusual. And it wasn't your normal thing to see walking down Santa Monica Pier. But today, you know, everybody works out. But let's have a look at what's going on. Over here is the arcade from the other side. This is the flip side of the arcade. We were on the back side earlier. Then we're going to venture down to the end of the pier. This is the opening to the Pacific Pier where all the rides are. Like I said, none of this was here back in the 70s. It was just a fishing pier. Very relaxed, very peaceful. We'd come down, take a walk, sit on a bench, get some sun, watch the fishermen, talk to them, just to relax after a workout. Like I said, all this is new. It's a huge attraction down in Santa Monica. We're only 1 mile away from Venice, where the weightlifting pen is. And we can run back and forth. In fact, we would run under the pier. This is the other side of it, as you can see. We'd run under it where the waves cracking underneath and come out this way and run down towards Malibu. That would be our jog. Come back, go under the pier again, end up back down in Venice again. It was like a 2-mile run, and it was a good run because the ocean air was so great, the water felt good, and something you guys don't have in the middle of the United States. We had it here in Santa Monica. going to the end of the pier, you can see there's the harbor office. This is where the fishing boats would come in and out, or if you wanted to rent a boat, you could take it out. On a bright sunny day, it was really beautiful. Mexican restaurant at the end now never used to be there. That's something new. But the fishermen were all along here, and over here is the other part of the pier where we would run underneath. As you can see, they're all pilings. Back in the day when Ocean Park, the other pier, was open down there before the fire. After the fire, Dave Draper used to come and take those pilings out. He'd carry them home and make furniture out of them. Those things weigh a ton. But he'd make tables and chairs and haul it home and carve it up, and I think they're still around today. That was his hobby. Let's go. These pictures are from the pier all the way back to 1930s and forward. It was a really busy pier. The Ocean Park with the roller coaster, the ballroom, the entry to the pier, down to Muscle Beach, everybody hanging out. So I would say if you ever get down here to Santa Monica, Venice to train at the gym and down at Muscle Beach, you got to make a trip to the pier, because this is where you're going to see a lot of good stuff that you've never seen before. Like I say, it's only a mile's walk. Hopefully you guys are in shape enough you can handle a mile. If I can, you can. This is Santa Monica Carousel, which is not running today. It's a merry-go-round that's been here since I was probably even before I was even born. I used to ride this thing back when I was about 5 or 10 years old. And it's not, I could say it's not on today, but it's a landmark of the Santa Monica Pier. And I even came back down here in the 70s after training one day and got on there and pulled the gold ring with a couple of guys from the gym. It must have looked like idiots, bodybuilders riding plastic horses. But it sure was fun. It took you back in time, and when you were a kid, and you can just have fun doing it. Sorry that it's not open, but it's just, there's no traffic here today. Maybe that's why. Well, this is the end of the pier. If we go any farther, we're going to end up in Japan. But I wanted to show you what it was like on Santa Monica Pier today. Not much different than it was in the 70s, other than the fact they have amusements and rides. But it was a fun place to hang out. There's always something to eat and snack on, and the sun beating down on you and tanning and oiled up and just having a great time. So next time you come down to Venice and you want to come down and see something else, take a walk, like I said, 1 mile down to Santa Monica Pier. You'll see a lot of nostalgia. There's a lot of old photos down here. It has a great feeling in the air of the 70s. And it has that bell going off about every 20 seconds. It'll drive you nuts. But that's Rick's Corner at Santa Monica Pier. History of bodybuilding in 1970s. And I'm going to bring you more. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.